Sure, happy to.
Yes, so
It's
I'm just
not.
gonna ask you just a few questions about what's going on. So first, if you could just like give me a rundown of like what your thoughts were when you first saw this video.
Well, I think, like with the rest of the nation, it was pain. It was pain for a family that experienced this tragic loss. As the president said in his statement, shortly after the video was released, outrage. You know, it it it's always painful when someone dies, but to have it broadcast for the world to see and for it to be in such an unfortunate and gruesome way, I can't imagine that anyone watched that video and felt anything other than pain and outrage and sympathy for this family that has to go the rest of their lives now without their son who was, trying to come home.
And just for clarification, can you just tell me what time the funeral will be starting? Is it 2 p.m. Eastern time, correct?
Yes, it's 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm actually at the church now, as you can see
Okay.
behind. And 2 p.m. Eastern. The
Okay.
weather is pretty icy out, so I think they're giving folks some additional time to get here.
And just a quick rundown of like you just set the scene of what's happening right now. Where are you? Like who's around you? If you could just set the scene for me.
Absolutely. I am at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church. That is where the funeral of Tyre Nichols will take place this afternoon. It's pretty noisy in here as folks are gathering. Folks are slowly trickling in. Like I said, the weather is not ideal, but we expect to have a number of White House officials in attendance. As you saw, Vice President Harris is on her way today. She spoke with the family yesterday and to offer her condolences, and they invited her to attend. The president spoke with the family on Friday to share his condolences, his and Dr. Biden's condolences, and we're in regular communication. So we wanted to make sure that we had a presence on the ground here in Memphis. And so Keisha Lance Bottoms, Mitch Landrew, myself, Tara Murray, as was announced, the vice president, her team, all want to just make sure that we're here to be supportive of the family and to focus on this family that is grieving, which is the top priority for today.
Yeah, and can you just explain in depth why it's important for these officials to be here in support of the family?
Absolutely. I think that there's been a lot of conversation in the news, about policing and about, there's a lot of political rhetoric and you have folks on one side and folks on the other. And obviously there's a time and a place, the president has been very clear in his efforts around police reform and his efforts to ensure accountability. And he's meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus tomorrow. But like I said, it's a time and a place. And today the focus is on the family of Tyre Nichols, his mother, Mrs. Wells, his stepfather, Mr. Wells, his child, and making sure that they are adequately supported as they lay their child to rest.
Yes, and you talked about President Biden's police reform. Can you just go into depth more about what the White House will be doing moving forward so that these situations can be avoided?
Absolutely. So, like I said, the president's going to be meeting with the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus and a small group of CBC members tomorrow. Chairman Horsford and others, and they're going to discuss at length a path forward. The president last year signed an executive order, George Floyd Justice and Policing Executive Order, because when the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which was passed by the House but blocked by Senate Republicans, he decided to take matters into his own hands. So he signed this executive order that included stricter use of force standards and accountability provisions for federal law enforcement and measures to strengthen accountability at the state and local level. And obviously there's more to do, but there's only so much that one person can do. But he has done everything that he can within his power of the presidency. And now he's calling on Congress to do the same.
Okay, and you talked just about how there are going to be some steps moving forward. Can you tell me if there is any type of better training and how that could be implemented?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are numerous conversations being had. I can't necessarily get ahead of the president or Congress, but you are more than aware of what was in the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act bill. That did not pass, but the president was very much in agreement with it and wanted to sign it. He's still calling on Congress to sign the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and he's going to have that conversation with those members of Congress that come to the White House tomorrow, and he'll continue to have those conversations to ensure that police officers are held accountable and that our criminal justice system lives up to the promise in which this country was based on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Lowe. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I'm happy to answer any additional questions. Feel free to contact us at any time.
Thank you.